Welcome in to DNVR Bets Daily, second leg of the pod, final second leg of the week. It's been a fun week. It's been an extraordinary week with the new format, and we get to close it out. He prefers not to be called a closer, but more a long reliever.
Yeah.
When the time comes where we need to go to the bullpen, he's our guy, Henry Chisholm, here with us. Hank, as he's affectionately known. As I said on Twitter, Big Hank for the big weekend preview. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't earned the closer role for sure. Like my job is, like today, Ryan totally blows it. He can't do his job. And so guess what? Fourth inning, it's 4:00. I get to jump in. Give me a few innings to just see what happens. Maybe the game winds up close afterward. Probably not, but we're going to have fun either way.
We're taking some big hacks here too, because we've got some boost we need to take care of. We've got 2 Nuggets games this weekend. We're hammering the over. We're doing it all, Hank. So let's kick it off. Worth mentioning, yesterday, 2-1 with my picks, 1-2 with Ryan's picks, some close losses, some close wins. Joel Embiid working his way off the dectagon of death, I believe we're calling it, because he goes off for 36. He clears the 30.5 on the over. So it's a beautiful thing. That was really nice. And we ended up over 500 on the week, and plenty of parlay wins to go through on top of that 500 with our picks. So nice week for us in the new format. Hankster, though, let's get into your picks, your big 3 for the week.
Yeah, let's get into my big 3. I'm going to start with the Nuggets because I feel like I'm excited to talk about them. They're 12-point favorites. It's a lot of points. They are at home, though, and what I really like is just the way the Nuggets are playing. It was so obvious when things weren't going well, the 3-game losing streak, what needed to change, and it was effort. And Michael Malone said as much. And since that point, we've seen the effort. They went out, they blew out the Cavs, and now we get to see if they can do it again. And I really do think that they will. I don't like these wide margins, but I just think that they are going to be so focused on running up the score, winning every minute, that it's going to be just fine. Illinois minus 14.5. They're going up against Nebraska. Nebraska's won 4 games all season. Illinois is the number 6 team in the country. It's on the road. And I mean, that's why the line is only 14.5. And I feel like when you're offered only 14.5, you take it and run. And then Zion and Luka each have scored 25 plus. Zion scored, I think, 24 a game. Luka is close to 28 a game. Luka is close to 50% shooting from the field. Zion's close to 60%. Both those guys are just cooking. It's an odds boost that DraftKings is giving out, plus 180 to plus 220. And I am totally bought into that.
Yeah, the odds boosts are slowly earning their way into our circle of trust, and that's a beautiful thing right there, Henry. That is a wonderful thing. In fact, I like that pick. We're going to get into more Nugget stuff in the second half of the show. let's get into my big three here, where I'm all over the place. We start with Paul Millsap over 17.5 points, rebounds, assists combined. Of course, he went off for 22 against the Cavs on his birthday. He's cleared this margin the last 3 games. He's averaging 21.5 points, rebounds, assists combined in the month of February. I like Dad to take care of business against that Thunder front court that prime for the taking here from Dad. Then the UFC main card, Kamaru Usman by decision. I think this is going to be a really, really special main card. I think they're going to go at it. I think Usman and Burns are going to give a spectacular match, but I think it's going to go to the decision. I think the champ pulls it out. We've seen him before in grappling matches. We've seen him before on his feet, one way or another. He always pulls it out, always shows a ton of heart. And then in the Italian league, we have another grudge match similar to the UFC main event. That is Juve taking on Napoli. Juve at just -109, considering the run of form they've had. They've been the hottest team, I think, in all of European soccer in 2021. This is a grudge match, and Napoli is missing some of their best players, especially on defense, due to COVID, and that's a big advantage. I expect this line to move, so jump on it now before that happens. There's your big three right there. And with that, Illinois first half. We got into that in the first leg of the show, Austin. That's where I would lean, though. I mean, as you said, Nebraska, crappy. The top of the Big Ten, really good. That backcourt for Illinois is phenomenal. You kind of like it either way if it's under 20. But the first half is where I'm leaning. The first half spreads for me did very well. Then Bobby Hurley, who Ryan has said repeatedly is a fraud on this show, really screwed me by not being able to lose by at least 7.5. So that was a shame. But let's get into our dilemma of the day, college hoops, Nuggets. We've got a bunch to talk about. Hank, that is where we go. Can the Nuggets sweep the weekend? Not only the Thunder, who you're bullish on tonight, but also the Hammer the Over special on Sunday, Valentine's Day. And then, we got to get into these boosts right here. So you think the Nuggets just kill them? You're not scared of the Thunder. You're not scared that Cavs game is just a mirage against a bad Cavs team.
Yeah, I mean, my thought process is, again, Colorado or Denver's playing really well. They're just like in general locked in, playing with energy. Everybody's trying to win every minute, which is a total change from what was going on beforehand. And I think that is going to continue. And I think that's who that team is, at least for right now. And it might last a week. It might last a month. They might be able to keep it up all season. But as of right now, I know tonight that they are going to be just fine. And I think that they're going to run all over OKC. The question to me, though, is what happens when they play the Lakers? Because the difference in that game is that the Nuggets aren't just straight up better. And if they decide to play, again, all 48 minutes of the game, that doesn't necessarily mean that they just go out and run away from the Lakers or necessarily even beat them. That one is more of a toss-up to me. I do think the Nuggets are playing well, and obviously there's injuries. I think both LeBron and AD are day-to-day. That will have a huge impact on all of this. But I do like the Nuggets on Sunday, although I'm not I like the spread a lot more tonight than I do on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Sunday game, that's another one, we talked about in the first leg how the Lakers losing record against the spread in the NBA, which surprised us both, but makes sense because they're always pretty overvalued by the public, even when they're having a good season like this. And, depending on AD and the injuries they're dealing with, Oklahoma City without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, on top of that, no Theo Maledon, no Trevor Ariza, no George Hill. So that backcourt is greatly limited. And I kind of feel like it might be a Will Barton night on top of, on top of Paul, of course.
Yeah, you could definitely see it. And I'm just going to keep going back to Jokic. like because he is just so good, and I like the matchup. I think that he's gonna put up big numbers, but I think Barton's a good call too. He's been playing well.
So Hank, the question with Yoke, because this is the first time we've really faced this season, was last game. All of a sudden, the Yoke props kind of went to hell because they blew the Cavs out. Now, they obviously won't 40 point, which when we played high school basketball, that was mercy ruled. You know, we would stop 40 point, we would stop keeping score. We'd still play to get the reps in, but we would stop keeping score. Yeah, kind of bad, but yeah.
It was I think Montana was like 35 points. It goes to running clock.
See, yeah, that's what we would do, and we stopped keeping score because we were weak like that. But this one, with a beat up Thunder team like that, you do wonder if maybe the Nugs blow them out once again, and then the Jokic props get murky.
And I was thinking that when you brought up Millsap, and I do think that like points, rebounds, assist line is low enough that he should be able to get it anyway. But I was thinking, like, in the back of my mind, you know, what if this is like the last couple of games? Yeah. First of all, then he covers it, but also, you know, he's one of those guys that you would try to take out a little bit early because he is on the more experienced side of things.
Yes, on the more experienced side of things. Aren't we all? Well, not you, young Hank, but I certainly am feeling like that. The final thing I want to touch on, Hank, man, I would really like to make this a Friday night MPJ night, but
we love those. I totally forgot Friday night was MPJ night until right now.
I'm having massive reservations because last time you were here, we got all hyped up about a Friday MPJ night, and not so. And in fact, I prior to that had taken MPJ to win Most Improved when he really started heating up. He's since cooled off. And now the Most Improved award spread is back on DraftKings Sportsbook. And MPJ went from plus 2,000 to plus 5,000. And Jeremy Grant went from plus 125 to minus 305. So that race has really been blown open basically by the last season's starter for the Nuggets at small forward versus this season's starter at small forward. So yeah, I would, if the stars hadn't aligned for us to have had this conversation before and it not work out, I'd be all aboard a Friday night MPJ night against this Thunder team. I'm gun shy tonight.
Yeah, and gun shy is probably right. And the responsible thing to do here is say, okay, we think Friday night is MPJ night.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. Let's not risk money on it happening this time. And if it works out, then maybe we'll get back on the train. What I'm probably going to do is still just put all that money on MPJ anyway, because I'm an irresponsible bettor. But yeah, you know, that's like the off the record thing that's going to happen.
Exactly.
You could totally see this being a huge game for him, though. Like the way this game should go.
That's what I'm saying.
When Paul Millsap goes out, like you're not trying to rest MPJ. You know, you're fine saying, okay, go pad your stats. We know you love that. And I think that he probably does get some chances to do that. Especially because he's going to be getting open looks. Not that it really matters for him, but it does seem like this offense should be able to just pick apart everything that the Thunder try defensively.
Well, and these are the kind of forwards that'll be guarding MPJ tonight. Darius Baisley, a guy who's actually rawer and younger than him. Hamidou Diallo, same thing. Luke Dort, everyone loves Luke Dort, but small. I mean, he gives up some significant size. Al Horford, who's probably going to be having his hands full with Jokic and the bigger guys. So you love all those matchups. Again, on paper, MPJ looks like a juicy prop to hit tonight. And then Valentine's night, when you've already got $50 coming your way anyways, because you bet the max 25 and you've got that 25, that you've got that all coming right back at you for our good friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook, that's when I'm hammering Jokic. That's where I say, okay, Valentine's Day Jokic, he's going to look really good, especially if there's no AD. I mean, get ready. Like Marc Gasol is getting cooked. And yeah, there you go. So those are our closing Nuggets thoughts. Before we move on, though, Henry, and get into all these props, the people want to know what you, and I want producer Kale's input on this one as well. Who are you, gun to your head, putting your money on for first score in this game?
Okay, who is putting a gun to my head and asking who's going to score the first basket in this game? Of course. You're the only person in my life who would do that, but it's, yeah. Okay.
My first thought is going to be the Nuggets because there's nobody that's going to get the tip over Jokic tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's why I love tonight for this prop, because already we can eliminate the Thunder guys off the list. Do you want to go safe?
Get the first shot.
Yeah, exactly. Do we want to go safe? Jokic, Murray plus 450, plus 650, or Dad's been feeling it at plus 1,000. Do you want to go with MPJ at plus 800? Maybe Will Barton at plus 1,000. What has you titillated? I defer to you guys.
Paul Millsap at plus 1,000 feels like a great bet to me. That corner three, like he's going to try and get that shot flowing early, I think. I think Jokic is going to try and get him feeling himself early because it made a big deal in Jokic being able to play the type of game he wanted to play last game, which was being able to pass and distribute, not have to be that scorer. So the earlier he can get Paul going, the better for him. So I think a kick out to a Paul Millsap 3 at plus 1,000 sounds mighty fine to me.
There you go. Like Chef's kiss from Kale. Go ahead, Hank.
Yes, we should be doing more of those. But I do like that pick. And I was thinking more, it's going to be Jokic going to work. Again, they're not going to be able to stop him. So he's going to get down in the paint. He's going to be backing somebody down. And then all of a sudden, the guy who's supposed to be guarding Paul Millsap in that corner, he comes off and jumps him. And then Paul Millsap sneaks in for the layup. And so that's what I've got. I think it's going to be like those little easy underneath the basket shot that it's going to go in. But the corner three is also a very good pick. I was torn, though, between Jokic and Paul Millsap. But with Jokic at plus 450, Millsap at plus 1,000, I think it's a toss-up, so I'm taking plus 1,000.
Okay, I wanted to know what Austin was thinking. He's going Joker. Austin's been on one lately, but I prefer the consensus Friday night vibes. I'm going with Dad. I love that. Of course, all these wagers and these boosts that we're going to get into right now in a sec can be found at the DraftKings Sportsbook, the best app in all the land. Download the app, put in code DNVR, and they will match your first signing bonus and your first deposit up to $1,000. Again, code DNVR, you can hammer that over. That's another free $25 right there. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Booyah. All right, Henry. We have so many specials to get into right now that I defer to you because I have a parlay for every single sport available this weekend. Kale, can I see Henry again? And then we have a boost for college hoops. We want to do that tomorrow because the slate tonight is a bit stinky. And then there's UFC too. So start us off. You're the guest here. I'll let you start us off.
Let's start with the college basketball. That's what I'm feeling right now. I've got some thoughts. And honestly, I know that some people have like some sort of internal objection to having a parlay that starts with that Illinois game tonight and then includes 3 games tomorrow. Yeah. But to me, that's the way that I'm going to be playing it. Okay. So yeah, that's the first piece to me. Let me see which games actually have lines up. So Colorado's still not up. Yeah. USC's still not up. Okay, so it doesn't look like any of the Pac-12 lines are up yet. But we do know what the games are.
I can find you some alternate lines, buddy.
Yeah, and there are lines from other outlets as well. So we're gonna start with Colorado. They're an 11-point favorite at Cal. Kind of very similar to the Nuggets. They have gone through this little dip where things didn't go well, and then you could blame effort if you wanted to. And now they've kind of whipped back into form. They've won their last 3 games by an average of 16 points, a little over that actually, and they're cruising. And I think that with Cal playing so poorly, that one's one that I'm feeling pretty good about. Also, UCLA just lost to Washington State last night, which is huge for Colorado, but that's not the point of this podcast. But you can check out the DNVR Buffs podcast.
Definitely do.
They're back in action tomorrow against Washington, and they're only favored by 9 points.
Is that an overreaction?
I'm liking that.
Is that an
I'm liking
overreaction?
that.
Yeah.
UCLA can bounce back. Washington's won 3 games all year. One of them against Colorado. Oh, one of the 15 losses, though, to the Montana Grizzlies. And they're just not good. UCLA is going to be able to bounce back. They belong at the top of the Pac-12 with Colorado and USC.
I like that.
And then this might feel a little bit homery, and so I'm going to give you 2 options.
Okay.
The Washington State, they just did against UCLA. Now they're home against USC.
Yeah.
USC favored by 8. I like Washington State. I think that within 8 points, and the length scares me, but they're playing well. And people forget, but Washington has, obviously the win against UCLA last time out. They dropped the game before that, but it was by 2 points on the road. And the game before that, they beat Oregon at Oregon. So this is a team that can complete a weekend like this weekend would be. So I like them. And then one final Pac-12 pick. Actually, we're going to go both. Nope, just Utah at Stanford. Stanford favored by 5.5. We're going to take Stanford in that one. They're good. And again, it's a team that needs a bounce back game. And we've taken too many road teams.
There you go.
All of this.
The road teams scare me here. Now, if you want to go safer, because there is a boost in play, you can take all those picks, just money line them. Forget those spreads. Just money line. Who cares if you're giving up value? You're parlaying them together and you're getting it boosted. That's where you can take advantage of a boost like that. I am bullish on West Virginia taking on Oklahoma.
I like it.
I think Iowa can clear the spread, which right now I'm seeing at 5.5 against Michigan State on the road. Fading Sparty has been fairly profitable for me this year. Oh man. And I'm doing it. I'm taking the Drake, our guy Kale's Drake squad, taking on the number 22 ranked Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago favored on the road. Drake's dealing with an injury to their big guy. Kale was telling us all about that off air. I don't care. Give me Drake. They can, any gym they're in, especially their home gym, they can shoot with anyone. That'll keep them in the game. And there you go. That's my 3-legger for you. And I also approve of a first half Illinois spread, which we've talked about already. So there you go. Let's stick with the boost. Keep that going. I'm taking it to the UFC side where, again, you should just get the Usman top 3, big 3 bet I gave out by decision. Really like that. Also, happy hour in the odds boost, you can find either Burns or Usman to win by decision at boosted to -115. That's the safer route. I really like that. Again, I think it's going to be a great fight, a bit of a toss-up. On the money line, the straight up value does lie with Burns. That's undeniable. It should be closer than where this line is set. But Usman, I just have so much respect. He's so tough. He can fight in any style. Then I gave out a stat on how in the co-main, Ian Heinisch, anytime there's an underdog and he's in a main card, the underdog wins. And it's not always him, but he is the underdog in this one. I just think Kevin Gosselin, he's had a tough run. He's coming off some losses. I don't think he's fighting at the right weight. So I think Ian gets that one. And I don't usually bet on ladies UFC. I love watching it. I just am always bad at picking them. So take this with a grain of salt, but was doing some research. Really like what Alexa Grasso and her kind of knockout ability brings to the table. -127 in the money line. She's really nice. So that's Usman by decision, Heineck money line, Grasso money line. There you go. You get that at +958 and you can boost it. From there, let's get into, I'm going to admit, Henry, hoops wise, I don't see a great parlay tonight, aside from taking some of the props we gave out. I gave out in leg one Malik Beasley over 4.5 rebounds. That's actually been hitting at an incredibly high rate. That's cleared 6 in a row, 13 of the last 15. So I really like that. You could take that, combine it with Paul Millsap, and then you could combine it with either the Bucks money line, Bucks in the plus taking on the Jazz. Isn't that intriguing? And,
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to watch the game.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
might be a good live bet.
Utah is going to fall off. This has happened how many times now? That we said, top 3, no way. And now what? Number 1? It's just
it's not going to last.
We know they're frauds, and until they do something differently, this is
harsh.
Well, but we've seen them start like this, and then
harsh but true. I like it,
and it's always this time of year. I don't mind picking tonight as being the night, but it scares me because they have been winning all the games that they play.
Yeah, no, for sure. So if you want to go aggressive, you parlay it with the Bucks money line. If you want to go conservative, this is such an odd slate for a parlay, Hank, because you know how we love parlaying double-doubles. Well, there are 14 guys in the NBA who average a double-double. Only 3 of them are playing tonight. And Capella might be injured. There's a lot of common opponents, so you have to pick between, like, for example, that Utah game, it's Gobert over Giannis. Those are 2 of the, 4 available to you now. So already you've eliminated 1. So if you want to go more conservative and you don't like that value on the money line, you can take the Giannis double-double, parlay that with Beasley rebounds, Dad over points, rebounds, assists combined, and there's your parlay. Simple, easy. You take it like that. In the NHL, it's another limited slate because we only have 2 games tonight, but it's an interesting one because you have right here, the Bruins just beat the Rangers and are really rounding into form. -190, not great value. You could take Artemi Panarin. Avs fans know the bread man who everyone was hoping they would sign in free agency to go over 2.5 shots. That's pretty nice value at -143. And then you parlay that with the Blues. The Blues have played the Coyotes 4 games in a row. They've beat them 3 in a row. Now they're playing them a 5th time. At -132, that's pretty nice value, even if there's a change in goal. I like
it, but it does scare me a little bit because it feels like the thing that happens at the end of baseball series.
Yeah.
Where it's that last game, it always goes the other way. And you're just like, well, come on. What are you doing? We know you can win. And I wonder if that's what's going to happen. But I still like the bet.
Yes, there's definitely that. I think that's why you're getting better value. I just think in professional sports, once you figured a team out and you just keep whooping on them, that trend isn't going to switch that quickly. But you're right. I mean, there's some cheese there for sure. You make a very good point there. So there you go. That's a parlay for UFC. That's 2 parlays for college hoops. That's a parlay for NBA. That's an NHL parlay. And now my special Italian soccer parlay of the weekend. You take the Juve pick I gave out. You parlay that with AC Milan at -2.5. They're taking on lowly Spezia. That'll be easy breezy. Sampdoria at +185 taking on lowly Fiorentina is amazing value in this slate.
Of course.
And then Atalanta's heating up. They go to Cagliari and take them on -235. Favorites only parlay. You get that at +1,096.
Absolute lock.
What's better than that?
No way, Eddie, that's wrong.
Yeah, thank you. I assume that we just gave out combined 15 picks with all those parlays. I assume we'll go 15-0. I can't conceive that one of those picks could go wrong.
Especially those soccer ones.
Exactly.
You were on fire there. I could just tell the way you said
Thank you, Kelly. Yes.
What was it? Juve?
Yeah.
I like when you say that one.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, I know they're gonna win.
It's a good one for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah, so there you go. There's a quite the loaded slate. Henry, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you all tuning in and riding with us on the new format. It's really been a blast. Really looking forward to continuing that next week when RK will be back. Until then, be wary of those double-digit road spreads in the Pac-12, but I approve of the money lines on the Safe Man parlay. Good luck and have a great weekend. Happy safe Valentine's to all.
Thanks.